Hi, welcome to the Virtual Assistant Crash Course with Jen the Virtual Assistant. I am so excited that I am finally presenting this masterpiece to you. Yes, masterpiece because I intend for it to be very different. I intend for it to actually do just one particular thing to help you gain clarity on whether virtual assistance is really something you can do. You see, I'm a virtual assistant coach that actually has your best interest in mind. And so I don't want you paying for courses or buying products without being really sure if the world of virtual assistance is for you. So take it that I am trying to give you an advice or a heads up before you make that final decision of spending money to upskill or to change your career path. Okay, so welcome. My name is Jennifer, and I am really excited to be hosting this course with you. So, this crash course was actually sponsored by the Equipped Virtual Assistant Bootcamp. And if you'd like to know who they are and what they're about and why they are so interested in you that they sponsored this course, then sit tight and I'll tell you more about them at the end of the course. Right? Let's move on. All right, so in this course, we are going to be doing a couple of things. We're going to be exploring the exciting world of virtual assistants because I tell you, the world of virtual assistants is actually very exciting. In fact, I want to say that it is more exciting that you already know about. So yeah, so my goal is to equip you with the knowledge and insights needed to make an informed decision about your future as a virtual assistant because I am really tired of seeing a lot of half-baked virtual assistant, and a lot of virtual assistants complain about the fact that they don't get clients, or the fact that it's very difficult for clients to pick them. And it's not really the client's fault. It's because we have a lot of half-baked virtual assistants, and this is one of the things that I want to actually cut down. So I want to serve as a bridge between virtual assistants and gaining true clarity before they begin their journey. So by the end of this course, you have a clear understanding of what it means to be a virtual assistant. You'd have clarity on whether it is the right path for you, and you'd also have the right direction on how you can start immediately. That is, if you discover that virtual assistance is really the path for you. So are you ready? Let's get into it right now. All right. So, who is this course for? Because of course, even if I created this for everybody, there are definitely specific people that I would like to point out so that if you fall into this category, you want to pay a lot of attention because this course is specifically for you. So this course is for virtual assistants. So if you are already a virtual assistant, this course is for you. Certainly, this course is for people who want to become virtual assistants. Say you've been thinking about the fact that you are tired of what you do and you want to go into something new, and you've decided that the new thing you want to go into is virtual assistants. This course is for you. This course is for people who want to just know about virtual assistants. So there are a couple of people that they are not exactly interested in becoming one, but they would like to know what the path is about. Maybe just to have general knowledge of it, or to understand so that they can direct their loved ones to the career path. This course is for you. So this course is also for you if you are stuck and would like a career change. So you're doing something that you don't really like, especially now in Nigeria where fuel price is actually very high. So transportation is high. If you are even working remotely, you are buying a lot of fuel and maybe your salary is not even so much. This course is for you. Then this course is also for virtual assistants who would like to get industry perspective from another virtual assistant. So I've been a virtual assistant for 5 years, and I would say that I have a couple of perspective that are quite different from perspective of other virtual assistants. So if you'd like to hear them, then yeah, this course is for you. Now let's get into the juicy details of why you're in this course. All right, so table of content. Of course, I need to tell you what this course contain, the content that the course contains, so that you know what you are expecting. So in module one, I'm going to be introducing you to the world of virtual assistant. In module two, I'm going to be telling you who a virtual assistant is. In module three, I'll be telling you who can become a virtual assistant, just in case you have an idea, but then you're not exactly very sure. I'm going to be clarifying who can become a virtual assistant. In module 4, I'm going to be telling you about the different kinds of virtual assistants. And then in module 5, I will be listing 5 ways for you to become a virtual assistant. So you see that this is not just going to be a theoretical course. This is going to be a course of me telling you what you need to know and also how you can start. So it's like I'm going to be taking you from point A to point B. So be rest assured that by the end of this course, you're actually going to have a good knowledge to even begin your journey if you wanted to actually start right now. Yes, you can take my word to the bank for that. All right, let's get into it. So, first things first, know that this is a crash course, so it's going to not be taking a lot of your time. The goal is to just give you foundational knowledge of all of these things that I've talked about so that you can know where to start from. So, yeah. So module one, who is a virtual assistant? In as much as I would like for you to take some time to answer this for yourself, I think I'll just go on. But if you don't mind, before you listen to me or before you read what's showing on my screen right now, you can just sit for a bit and think about who a virtual assistant is in your own definition. Who do you think a virtual assistant is? Because if you are really, really interested in becoming a virtual assistant, then even if you do not have a professional knowledge on the definition of a virtual assistant, you should be able to tell me who a virtual assistant is to you, or what a virtual assistant mean to you, since you want to become one, right? So take a few seconds and yeah, think about it. Okay, great. Now I will tell you who a virtual assistant is. So I have a lot of definition, and these are just a few things that I'm going to be sharing with you. Here I say that a virtual assistant is an independent worker who offers services to business owners from a remote location. So a virtual assistant is an independent worker who offers services to a business owner from a remote location. So you're an independent worker, you mostly offer your service from a remote location. And being a virtual assistant gives you the opportunity to work with a lot of people at the same time. And of course, this is actually the one of the good things about being a virtual assistant, and also one of the bad things about being a virtual assistant, because the fact that you know that you can work with more than one client, some people can get client greedy in quote and take up more client than they can handle, and especially if they are not exactly great yet at performing the skill. And that is why you find cases where somebody can start their career having a lot of clients, and all of a sudden they lose all their clients because they either were taking so much at the same time, or they were taking a lot of clients that they did not even know how to offer the services to. So the term virtual assistant means offering assistance virtually. It is just as the words imply, virtual assistants offering assistance virtually. So virtual assistants are the behind the scenes heroes who help businesses thrive in today's digital world. I promise you, a lot of the businesses that you admire, especially the businesses you admire on Instagram, the businesses you admire on YouTube, the businesses you admire on Twitter and all of those social media platforms, they have virtual assistants, and their virtual assistants are mostly 60% the reason why they are doing amazingly well. So I tell you, if you think a virtual assistant is just one type of career path or one type of job that you can do. Nah, we are very, very important people. Like, we are so important people. And the amazing thing is, a lot of clients are gradually realizing that we are super amazing people, and not just amazing in the in the word part, we are amazingly impactful. So they can exactly measure the kind of impact that we bring to their businesses, and that is super, super amazing. So now let's talk about who can become a virtual assistant. Anybody, mark my lips or read my lips, anybody can actually become a virtual assistant. But for the sake of clarity and for the sake of being direct, I will tell you a list of people that I am so sure can become a virtual assistant. Number one, anybody who can read and write. As long as you can read English, as long as you can write English, as long as you can speak English, you can become a virtual assistant, because communication is the bedrock of the career path. You're going to be working with clients that are not in the same vicinity as you. So one thing that is actually going to ensure that your time together or your work together is super amazing is the fact that is your ability to communicate. For example, you are not in the same location as me right now, but we are having this class and you are enjoying the class, if I do say so myself, because I'm enjoying teaching the class right now. So you're enjoying the class, and that's because I can communicate. So it is very, very important. That's because I can read in English, I can write in English, and I can speak in English. So it is very, very important for you to be able to do that. If you know that you can read, you can write, you can speak in English, then yeah, you can actually become a virtual assistant. And another person that can become a virtual assistant is anyone interested in problem solving. This is actually very, very key, because our job is mostly to solve problems that our clients have. So if I were to be looking for a virtual assistant, it would be because I have a problem. And my problem doesn't necessarily have to be a life threatening problem per se. It could be that, okay, maybe I'm too busy to do certain things um in my business, and I still want my business to prosper. I get a virtual assistant. You see that that's a problem, and then I get somebody to solve it. So anyone interested in problem solving usually can become a virtual assistant. Anyone with good work ethics or willing to develop one. This is actually very, very key, because, like I said again, you work remotely, and one of the things that can help you grow as a virtual assistant and help you scale as well is if you have a great work ethics. And having a great work ethics mean that you are able to meet deadlines, you are being reliable, every time you are needed, you are being found. So yeah. Um Another list of people that can become a virtual assistant is anyone who is result oriented. So if you followed me, if this is your first time seeing my face, thank you very much for signing up for this course. If you've taken some time to go through my content, you see that one of the things I hammer on is result oriented. And if this is not your first time seeing my face, then you are sure and you know that one of my most used or favorite terms to use as a virtual assistant is result oriented, because it is very, very key. If you're a problem solver, it means that you are result oriented. And one thing I've realized over time is, once you are result oriented first before money seeking, the money will certainly find you. I promise. So if you are result oriented, if you are always eager to actually produce results when you are given a task or when you are beginning something, then you can actually become a virtual assistant. Then anyone interested in the businesses of their clients, this is also key as well, because another reason a lot of people find it difficult to work with people remotely or virtual assistants remotely is because they feel like, even if yes they will pay you or they want to pay you rightly, they feel like a lot of virtual assistants or a lot of freelancers stroke remote workers are not really interested in the businesses they are working with. They're just interested in getting money. So I want to get this gig or I want to get this client so that I can add an extra dollar to my account, which is not exactly a bad reason for wanting to get more jobs. But these business owners are actually human beings. They are real life people, and they need to get their money's worth if not more than their money's worth. So if you are interested in the businesses of potential clients or other people's businesses, you can become a virtual assistant. And then anyone who can maintain confidentiality. You work with these people online, and the best way they can communicate with you properly, or the best way they can communicate their vision with you properly, so that you are able to interpret it and do the kind of work they are looking for, is by them sharing business documents with you. And it will not be nice for you to share your client's business documents or your client's business information with other people. So if you know you are good at keeping secrets, you can actually become a virtual assistant. I hope that that is clear. Next thing, let's talk about different types of virtual assistants. So there are different types of virtual assistants. First things first, when people hear virtual assistants, they think that all we do is just schedule meetings, manage calendar, do travel itinerary and all of that. But now we do a lot more. The world is actually progressing, the world is evolving, and that means that we can now do so much more than just calendar management and the rest of them. And this is why we now have niches in virtual assistants. So different types of virtual assistants, you can also interpret it as different niches in virtual assistants. We have the admin virtual assistant, which a lot of people are used to. And it's so funny that a lot of people think that that is the only type of virtual assistant that clients hire. But that is not true at all, because clients hire different type of virtual assistant. It just depends on your positioning, your specialization, and what they are looking for. And yeah, you can get hired. So we have admin virtual assistants, we have marketing virtual assistants, we have real estate virtual assistants, we have blogging virtual assistants, we have course creation virtual assistants. For example, this course now, I could say that, oh, I'm too busy to come up with this course myself. I can get a virtual assistant to help me tidy up the course from the beginning till the end, which includes recording and distributing it to you. Is going to be the work of a course creation virtual assistant or course creation assistant, or whatever you want to call it. And then we have the research virtual assistant. These ones, they basically carry out research for businesses and all of that. I hope that that's clear. This is definitely not all the types of virtual assistants, but these are a few that I wanted to talk about. So you can go online, you can go on Google and check more on the different types of virtual assistants. So now let's talk about 5 steps to becoming a virtual assistant. So before we move on, I would like to ask you, I know that if you answer, I may not exactly hear you, or I won't hear you actually, but I need you to take a few seconds and digest everything that we've talked about so far, and let me know how you feel. If you don't mind, you can actually send me an email right now before you continue watching this course. So you can just click on pause and send me an email. Tell me that, hi Jen, I'm actually on the module that says 5 steps to becoming a virtual assistant, but I wanted to tell you how I feel about this course so far. I know it's been 18 minutes, but this is how I feel about the course. I would like to know. I like feedback. It lets me know that we're doing a good job. So yeah, take the next few minutes, do that, and then you can come back to watching this course. Okay, so I want to believe you're done. Now we can move on. So 5 steps to becoming a virtual assistant. I mean, these are not the only steps, but these are like short steps that can actually help you begin immediately. So the first thing is to decide the type of virtual assistant you want to become. So you know that we just talked about the different types of virtual assistant you can become. That is the different niches in virtual assistants. So you can decide the type of virtual assistant you want to become. It is usually advised, or it is usually advisable for you to pick one niche. But if you feel like you want to do a lot more, you can decide at least one, then at most 2 to 3, depending on what you can actually handle. So the goal is for you to pick the ones you are sure you can handle, because if you pick 3 or 4 niches and they are all different niches, and then you get clients for all the four niches, you see that that's going to be very confusing because every day you're working for this client, especially if you get full-time clients. Every day you're working for this client and you're doing different things for each of them. You're going to run mad. Actually, if you're not careful, you're going to run mad. So it is best for you to pick at least two or three if you think you're strong enough. But I would really just advise two and just focus on them. So the next thing after deciding the type of virtual assistant you want to become, you can identify the skills that those virtual assistants have. For example, if you decide that you want to be a marketing virtual assistant, identify what skills do marketing virtual assistants have, and then you can do. If you decide that you want to be a blogging virtual assistant, you identify what skills, you ask yourself or you make your research on what skills blogging virtual assistants have. So next is for you to intern. So after identifying the skills, of course, you are learning, and how you can learn on your own if you don't have a budget, or you can take classes, you can take courses. And if you are looking for the best place to actually take courses that will not just teach you what it is or what to do, but teach you how to do it, then you should be checking the Equipped VA Bootcamp out. You can check them out on Instagram. If you're interested in them, I'll talk more about them at the end of the class. But yeah, let's move on. So after taking classes, next thing you want to do is to intern. So whether with yourself or someone else, the goal is to gather experience. When people here intern, they expect that the only person you're interning with should be businesses. But the truth is, you can actually intern with yourself. The first thing is you just need to believe in yourself. For example, me, when I started as a blogging virtual assistant. In When I was in university, I had a blog where I created personal development content. And guess what? When I started to look for clients as a virtual assistant, and I was creating my portfolio, I was including places I have experiences in, I actually included my blog as my portfolio. So you could say that I interned with myself. And because I trusted myself that much and I knew that I was actually doing a good job like I would do for clients, I was bold enough to actually show that. So for example, if you choose to become a social media virtual assistant, if you've tried to intern with other people and it's been quite difficult, you can just open a social media account for yourself and start posting. So so you can open for yourself and be posting there, or you can open a dummy account. So you can just create a business out of anything, then open an account and start creating content around it. The kind of content that you know you'd create for an actual client. So that when you're applying for virtual assistant jobs, you will not apply as though you don't have experiences, because you've actually been doing it for the dummy business that you created, and you can add it in your portfolio. I hope that that makes sense. So yeah, that's a cheat sheet that a lot of people do not know. You can do that. Remember, the goal is to trust yourself and ensure that you are doing good work. Ensure that you're doing good work. So even if nobody is looking at you, even if nobody is cross-checking what you are doing or whatnot, the goal is to do very, very good work. Then of course, take more courses. Learning is a journey. I mean, every niche, every industry, they actually learn. So learning is a journey. You continue to learn and improve yourself and continue to upskill based on the industry trend or what is currently going on. Then the next thing or the last thing you can do is to decide if you want to be a freelancer, a 9 to 5, or a business owner stroke agency. So these are like I can call them categories of virtual assistants. We have the 9 to 5 virtual assistants. We have the freelance virtual assistants where you can just work with anybody. You can work with up to 5 clients or 10 clients if you can carry. Then we have the business owner stroke agency where have your business, like what I do currently. You have your business and people work with you as a virtual assistant. So this is 5 step that you can actually follow and begin your journey immediately, right? Okay, so now let's talk about how you can find virtual assistant jobs. So far, We've talked about what a virtual assistant is. We've talked about who can become a virtual assistant. We've talked about the different types of virtual assistant. We've talked about 5 steps you can take or 5 things you can do to become a virtual assistant. Now, let's talk about where you can find virtual assistant jobs for clients. Let's say that you've listened to everything I've said, you've digested it, and you've started taking steps and all. Now you want to know where you can find virtual assistant jobs. First things first, you can find jobs everywhere, jobs and clients everywhere. Specifically, you can find on Instagram. So you're on Instagram, you're seeing a lot of business owners and you can identify what their problem is. Once you identify their problem, you can send them a message. Or aside from cold calling, you can just be scrolling and then you see openings. I post a lot of openings on my page, and one of the things that the Equipped Virtual Assistant Bootcamp will do is actually to also post openings and recommend virtual assistants to clients. So you really, really want to check them out. You can find clients in Facebook groups. I've heard a couple of virtual assistants talk about finding clients in Facebook groups. So first thing you want to do is to identify the kind of clients you want to work with. So if you want to work with coaches, that means you want to join Facebook groups that have coaches there. If you want to work with entrepreneurs, you have to identify groups where entrepreneurs are in and join those groups. So when you join those groups, you can connect with them, contribute to them until you get to a point where you want to offer your services to them or whatnot. You can find jobs or clients on LinkedIn, you can find on LinkedIn groups, you can find on Fiverr, you can find on Upwork, and you can find on Google. If you'd like to know how to find on Fiverr and Upwork, then you want to pay attention to the last thing I'm going to be saying on the last page. Right, so we've come to the end of the class, but I have an exercise for you. Remember that I said the goal of this crash course is actually to help you gain clarity as to whether virtual assistance is for you. So we've talked about all of these things so far, and I want to believe you are already understanding if this is something you want to do or not. But this particular quiz is going to help you decide if this is something that you really, really want to do or not, or if this is something that is for you. So I have 4 questions here. Question one says, do you like researching stroke learning new things? A is true, B is not really, C is false. You can pick whatever your choice is. Question two says, you know how to take initiative once given a brief. So a brief is just an introduction or an instruction of what a client wants you to do. That's what a brief is. So option A says yes, option B says I love to be micromanaged. Micromanagement means you being monitored and followed about on what you need to do. So which is your answer? Let me know. Question three says you are a fast learner and can implement. Option A says yes, option B says no. Then question four says you have access to the internet, yes or no. So take out your time, answer these questions, and let me know what your answers are. So congratulations if you scored up to 3 points, and by 3 points I mean if you have up to three yeses, that means you are qualified to become a virtual assistant. So if you've been looking for validation or affirmation as to whether virtual assistant is for you, if you took that quiz, if you watched this course till the end and you enjoyed it, that means yes, virtual assistant is for you. I am giving you that validation you seek. I'm giving you the affirmation you seek. I'm giving you the assurance that you seek that virtual assistant is for you. So what next? What next? Now that we know that virtual assistant is for you, what next? And that brings me to telling you about our sponsor. I hope you've had a great time so far because personally I have had a great time. So our sponsor is the Equipped Virtual Assistant Bootcamp. And I promise you, you've never heard of it before. You know how techies, when they are starting, they it is usually compulsory in quotes for them to join boot camps, and every time they join a boot camp you hear that somebody moved from finance industry to tech, and because they joined a boot camp they became very successful till the point that they've gotten a job. So that is what this boot camp is going to be for you. So this boot camp is going to be like those tech boot camps, but this time for virtual assistants, and their goal is to take you from zero stroke beginner level to interview ready stroke employable virtual assistant level. So what we do here is to ensure that you can do the job. It is one thing to know about the job or know about the career path. It is another thing to actually be able to do the career path or to be able to do the job, and that is what the equipped virtual assistant bootcamp is about. So if you enjoyed everything we've done or everything we've talked about in this course so far, then I assure you, you are going to enjoy the equipped virtual assistant bootcamp. The bootcamp is actually going to be starting in November, and marketing is going to, or link to registration for the bootcamp is going to be opened from the 20th of September. But if you watch to this point and you like to take action, if you watch to this point and you are really really interested and you'd like to know more and also be among the very first, if you like to get in using early bird. So I'm saying early bird because there's early bird and they have different prices. They have the early bird, which is 25,599, and then they have the middle bird or the actual price, which is 28,999, and then the late bird is 35,999. So if you'd like to take advantage or if you'd like to join them immediately before the 20th of September, so this is what 15th of September. If you'd like to take advantage before the 20th of September, you get the opportunity to pay 17,999. Can you beat that? 17,999. So if you are interested and you like to know more, you can either send an email. So you can send me an email, jenthevirtualassistant@gmail.com, or you can send an email to info.equippedvirtualassistant@gmail.com and let them know that you are interested in paying. Or you can click the link in the description box below to read more about the program, what the bootcamp is going to be covering, and all of that. Meanwhile, the bootcamp is going to be for 45 days. This is not a course or a program where you're just going to watch it for 1 week or just give you access to it. It's going to be for 45 days, and every day for 45 days, you are going to be learning different things and you are going to be also engaging in different activities that will help you to become equipped. It is just as the name implies, equipped virtual assistant bootcamp. The goal is to equip you with all of the skills that you need to become an employable and interview ready virtual assistant. So click the link in the description to learn more, and I really really hope to see you in the bootcamp because I'm going to be one of the instructors, and you know that when I am there, it is going to be super interesting. Anyways, we've come to the end of this program or the end of this crash course or whatever you want to call it. Before I go, I would like to tell you that, or I would like to encourage you to follow our sponsor on Instagram, equipped VA Bootcamp. Send them a DM, tell them about how amazing they are for this crash course. If you really really enjoy this, and do me a favor, please take a screenshot of you taking this class and post it on your Instagram stories and tag me. If you have anybody that you really really think should see this crash course, tell them to reach out to the equipped virtual assistant bootcamp if they can still give them access, or you can just tell them to register for the equipped virtual assistant bootcamp when they are coming. It's going to be starting in November, and I think that that is really really great because for November till 45 days from November till December, it's going to actually be getting you ready for 2024. If you the plans that you had for 2023, Nigerian government has spoiled it for you or whatnot. This is actually your chance or the opportunity for you to re-strategize and get ready for 2024. So if you are interested to really, really do better in 2024, then you really, really should register for this crash course. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I hope you had a great time because I had a great time myself. Bye. Take a screenshot. Yeah. Bye, guys.